Dun-it, dun-it, dun-it-dun-it-dun-it. Oh, that's a big shoe. Ginger Runner. What's up, everybody? Ethan Newberry, the Ginger Runner, here for another GingerRunner.com review, and today I am very excited because I am reviewing 3 shoes, all from the same shoe manufacturer, but you can watch any one of the 3 at any given point. This video you're currently watching is for the Hoka One One Stinson Trail. That is a big shoe. You know, Hoka was pretty awesome. I approached them, I was like, hey, listen, I really want to try your shoes. I'm very curious. I'm a little skeptical, but I want to try them. And they were like, you know what? We trust you, Ginger. We love your videos. We love your content. We would love to send you product. And listen, I'm going to be totally honest with you, and I'm going to review these truthfully. And they were like, you better. We expect nothing less. So big props to Hoka, I very much appreciate it. As I mentioned, I'm posting 3 Hoka reviews today. You are watching the Stinson Trail review, but you can also watch the Bondi 2 review or the Rapa Nui 2. Go ahead and click those little shoes. You can go to those reviews. So you've decided to watch the Stinson Trail review. Congratulations and welcome. Okay, first of all, Hoka One One, which I used to think was pronounced Hoka One One, but I was corrected, have been making shoes that are a little bit different off the beaten path than most regular shoe manufacturers have been creating. Check it out. What is the first thing you notice about the Hoka One One shoes? They're big. The soles are thick, the EVA is thick, but they're extremely cushioned. This is pretty much their game. This is exactly what they have set out to do from the very beginning. They're the first shoe manufacturer to create what's called a maximal shoe. A lot of other shoe manufacturers are now trying to copy this trend, which is really interesting. I was very skeptical at first. Am I a maximal convert? Watch this review and let's find out. A lot of the elements that they put into designing the shoe are specific to trail running. Not to say you couldn't run roads in this because the midsole is so thick, but I wouldn't recommend it, and they have other shoes that are specific for that purpose. Man, am I jacked up on caffeine or what? Probably. I haven't drank caffeine in a week, but today I drank a cup of coffee. Look at me go. Woohoo! So my first real experience with this particular shoe, the Stinson Trail, was during the Cuyamaca 100K, my first 100K race. I started that race in the Salomon Mantras, my favorite go-to trail shoe of 2013. I was good up until about mile 31 when my feet were just killing me. They were totally destroyed. I don't know if I had put too many miles in the shoe or if that course in particular was just tearing my feet apart. For the first time in any race that I had ever run, I switched shoes. I switched into the Stinson at mile 31 and never looked back. It was amazing how much my feet transformed from little nubs of pain and misery to what felt like soft massaged feathers of cotton and hope. I don't think that's a real thing. Regardless, my feet within 2 miles had completely changed and I was good to go. I contribute me finishing the Cuyamaca 100K to this shoe. And that to me says a lot about a product. But is the Stinson Trail the shoe you should get? Let's go ahead and start this review. Things that I like about the Hoka One One Stinson Trail. That's gonna be fun to say this entire review. First of all, cushion. Obviously, it's got tons of it. The midsole material is over 30 millimeters thick. It's what sets this shoe apart. It's extremely soft. It is like running on pillows. It looks horrendously thick and tall, but the truth is, it just completely absorbs your foot. It's extremely cushioned and comfortable. Traction. The outsole of this shoe is rugged, durable, and I love it. It gives you tons of traction on all sorts of trails, and you feel like you can bomb down any hill without a single traction issue, and it's true. Meta rocker. They designed this shoe to act like it's rocking your foot forward, so you're not getting a ton of flexibility out of the shoe itself, but what the shoe's trying to get you to do is roll from your midfoot into your forefoot and get you some good toe off. As someone who's a midfoot, forefoot striker, I didn't find too much discomfort in that rocking sensation, and in fact, I kind of liked it. Kind of made it easy to run in, and I was able to forget about working on my stride the entire run. Hoka One One, low drop. The drop on the shoe is 6 millimeters, which is, you know, borderline good, bad for me, but really with this much midsole material, you can't feel the difference between a 2, 4, or 6 millimeter drop. It just absorbs your foot and allows your gait to kind of work itself out. So from a drop perspective, I wouldn't worry too much about the number 6. Long haul comfort. As I mentioned during the Cuyamaca 100K, this thing brought it for 30 miles and my feet felt great by the end of that race. I've seen people run much longer distances with this particular shoe. And in fact, if you go to any ultra race and you look for Hokas, you will see a lot of them. Out of the 3 shoes today, is this the one that I would run ultras with? You'll see. But regardless, the shoe was designed for those long runs, 20 miles plus. Durability. I have put over 150 miles on the shoe and there's nothing wrong with it. There's no wear, no tear. I mean, it's a little rugged and dirty, but the build quality of the Hoka One One Stinson Trail is dynamite. So that's it for likes. There are a couple of things that I dislike. First of all, it's heavy. It's 12.2 ounces. The shoe itself is an extremely heavy shoe. Now, as I mentioned, it was designed for those long haul runs where you're not really thinking about how much does my shoe weigh? Am I gonna be able to go super fast at this particular moment? You really just end up forgetting about the shoe on your foot and just focus on finishing. I like a good trail shoe below 10 ounces. This is 12.2. It's heavy. heavy. No flexibility. As you can see, the shoe itself is not flexible. The midsole material, outsole material, and the last of the shoe just contribute to a really stiff ride. That's where that meta rocker technology comes in. But the truth is, I like a flexible shoe to flex with my foot as it's supposed to, and this does not. Foot fatigue. This is a big one for me. Long hauls in this shoe can be tiresome on muscles you don't normally work. Not just your foot muscles, I'm talking muscles all the way up your legs. If you're gonna run a long ultra in this shoe, train in this shoe. Put a lot of miles in the shoe. Make sure that your body is adjusting to what this shoe does. Narrow. I know a lot of other people that have had the same issue, but the forefoot on this particular shoe is just too narrow. It does not allow a lot of foot splay. You don't have a lot of room in that toe box. And in this particular shoe, I had a lot of issues with sizing because of that. I had to crank down on the laces, but also loosen up certain spots just to try to get a good fit on my foot. I know people who have cut the entire upper off of the toes just so they could have some comfortable toe splay. That's an issue. Laces. With the shoe right out of the box, it comes with this little set of quick laces that's already built into the shoe. I recommend cutting this thing out as soon as you open it because the shoes also come with a set of regular laces and I would recommend using those over these any day. You just get a more custom fit throughout the entire foot and that to me is important. Hoka One One. Upper thickness. The upper on this particular shoe is very thick. I'm guessing they did it for durability reasons, but the truth is it's just too thick. It's not flexible. It doesn't really work with your foot. There's seams, big chunks of leather. I just think that there's too much upper. You don't need that much protection, especially when you're sitting this high off the ground. And finally, my biggest dislike, looks. I don't think it's the most attractive shoe out on the market. I think they know that, and some of their new models that they're coming out with, they've really worked on design, which I appreciate, but when you have a shoe that deals with this much midsole material, you're gonna look like Frankenstein. It looks like a shoe that you would wear in a hospital or something. I just don't like the looks of them. But that is it for dislikes on the Hoka One One Stinson Trail. Like I said, this shoe got me out of some sticky situations, particularly in the Cuyamaca 100K, so I will always worship this shoe for what it did to me. It helped put a medal around my neck after the longest race of my life. So thank you, Hoka One One Stinson Trail. You're welcome, Ethan. It talks. So let's get on with the points. Quality, I'm gonna say 4 out of 5. It's a quality shoe, nothing is fraying, no seams have split apart. The midsole still has plenty of cushion. I say it's a borderline 3 to 4 out of 5 because of all the issues that I mentioned before. But I'll round up 4 out of 5. Comfort, I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5. It's a very cushioned, soft, pillowy shoe. I only had a couple issues with the upper, the tongue, and some of the lacing and the narrowness. So I docked it a point, 4 out of 5. Price, I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5. This shoe, new, costs $160 MSRP. That is a lot of money and is one of the most expensive Hoka One One shoes on the market. However, I have seen this particular shoe on sale for $135, which is a way better price. So I still have to give them 3 out of 5 because there's such a discrepancy between colors, just colors. And finally, looks. 2 out of 5. I have to knock it down a couple of points because I do not think it is the most attractive shoe on the market. I've seen much more attractive shoes, including some of the shoes that they have coming out very soon, I think are better looking than this one. Please don't take it personally. That brings our total to 13 out of 20 for the Hoka One One Stinson Trail. I want to make sure that there's a caveat. I have had great success in this shoe, but there are other shoes in their line that I think might be just as good, if not better. Here they are laid out before you. You have the Bondi 2 and the Rapa Nui 2. Choose any of these and enjoy the review there within. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please like and favorite it and be sure to subscribe to this channel. As always, I appreciate anything you can do to help share this video as well because I want to make this my job, and the only way that can happen is if you guys continue to share these videos and help spread the love and get new audience. You can find me on all the social networks. You can find me over on Twitter at The Ginger Runner, of course on Facebook, facebook.com/TheGingerRunner. I'm on Instagram at Ethan Newberry, and of course, gingerrunner.com. That's where all the magic goes down, friends. I hope you enjoyed this review, and don't forget, there's 2 others, so go enjoy them. Today's a big day. It's a big Hoka One One day. I just love saying it. I hope you guys are getting out there and training hard, racing harder, and partying hardest. As always, I'm Ethan Newberry, your host, The Ginger Runner. We'll see you guys next time. Train, race, beer.